Good to see you again. I wanted to go ahead and continue on our series of working with finding your life purpose. Today we're going to answer another question that was a brilliant question. It is, how do I live a life that I love if I don't know what I love? That's a good question, right? That's an amazing question. And that's a question that we don't really think about. Society has really conditioned us into thinking that we have to fulfill a certain societal role. So we need to get a good job, and we need to get married, and we need to have 2.5 kids, and we need to whatever that societal expectation is. But nowhere does it ever say, follow what you love, follow your heart, follow your soul, do that inner yearning, that calling that you have. Like, that's why you're here. Society doesn't say that, and that's a shame, because ultimately it parts ways from what is like your soulful connection of who you are. So you're missing out on that opportunity to really live here with your purpose in mind. So that's what we really want to talk about today. We really want to help you to think about what is your soul purpose, why you're here, and start listening to that. So I have a few questions that I'm going to ask of you today that are going to help you to kind of hone in on what your loves are. Because like I said, society doesn't encourage that, so it's not something that we think about very often. So really take some time to think about each of these questions. Now, granted, these questions may sound a little redundant, and they are, but each of them is getting at the point in a different way and kind of helping you to hone in on what are those soulful desires. So just bear with me, okay? All right, so the first question is, what brings you great joy? And I'm not talking about just joy in general. I'm talking about like soulful joy, like what just lights you up, what puts your soul on fire kind of thing, that kind of intensity. So we're looking for that. All right, the next question is, what could you do all day long and not get bored of it? Now, I've already told you mine. I could be in a spiritual bookstore all day long with just a snack lunch and I'm good to go. But that's not for everybody. And each person, like I said, has their own things. So what is that one thing or many things that you could do all day long and not get bored of it at all? So write those down. All right, the next thing is, if you had 1 year left to live, what would you do? What would you do with that 1 year? That time limit is really helping you to pinpoint the things that are really important to you. So just think about that. All right, the next one is, what would you do if you could create your own dream life? Now, I'm not talking about like your fantasy life of, living on the beach and drinking margaritas and that kind of thing. And I'm talking about like your dream life, like what would fulfill your soul's longings? What would make you feel fulfilled, like you were living your life's purpose? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, the next question is, if you could give one contribution to society that would help society in some way, what would you do? And the last question is, what is one thing or many things that you want to do in this lifetime that you could just not imagine not having done in this life? So for me, that was being a mom. I really wanted to be a mom in this lifetime, and that was really important to me. So that was a part of my soul's story. of what it wanted to go through. And now I say it, but it's really me, so don't get confused by that. I'm just kind of, explaining it a little differently. But yeah, so for me, it was important to be a mom and to have that experience and to go through that. Now, is that my only soul's journey? No. I have many things that I want to do, but that was one thing that was super important to me that I couldn't imagine, living life, without having done. So think about all these questions, really put some time into, you know, really going deep with these questions, because they will absolutely help you to pinpoint what it is that you love, what is your soul's purpose, and why you're here. If for some reason you're having trouble figuring these things out through these questions, then you're really going to want to take some time away from your life and take that time to connect with your soul, to connect with your heart, and to find what your soul is longing for, that maybe you just don't have enough time in your day to really hear those messages. And so it's connecting into that and hearing those things and knowing, like, this is what you're yearning for, this is what you're longing for, and these are the things that you want to do. And that's why you're here. You have those feelings in you for a reason, and they're not just there like random. So yeah, take some real time to think about this, because this is so important. So anyway, I hope this makes some sense to you. And if you have any questions, please put them down below. I am happy to answer anything, and I'm happy to make videos out of any questions that you have. This is super important to me, to help you to find your purpose, because like I said, my purpose is to help you find your purpose. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. All right, you guys, you take care.